Have you ever wondered what it would be like to get a message, directly from a divine source? Well, that's the heart of what we're diving into today, the gift of prophecy. It's a concept that has literally shaped history and still inspires millions. So what do the ancient texts actually say about this incredible ability?
When you boil it all down, it really comes to this one question, doesn't it? What does it truly mean to speak for God? I mean, that's a profound responsibility, and it's the central mystery we're going to try to unpack together.
Okay, so to really understand the key figures and, let's be honest, the controversies, we've got to build a solid foundation. So let's start at square one. What exactly is prophecy, according to the texts? Right away, you can see this definition is incredibly active. It's not just about passively getting a message. Nope. It's about three key things: speaking for God, conveying his message accurately, and then, this is the big one, bringing about actual transformation in people's lives. And this is not some new idea. The concept of prophecy is this foundational thread that's just woven through the entire biblical narrative. We're talking from the earliest stories in Genesis, through figures like Abraham, all the way to the heavy hitters like Isaiah. It's been part of the story from the very beginning. So, if prophecy is a divine message, how's it delivered? What does it look like? Well, it turns out it is definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of gift. The texts actually lay out a sort of blueprint with distinct types and characteristics. The source material breaks it down into three main categories. You've got general prophecy, which is kind of like the 30,000-foot view of God's big plan. Then there's local prophecy, which zooms way in, delivering a very specific message to a particular person or community. And finally, you have revelatory prophecy, which is the most direct, often involving visions and deep spiritual insights. And this is so important because it shows that a true prophetic gift isn't just about making bold declarations. It has to be grounded in these key characteristics. Accuracy is completely non-negotiable. The message has to be truthful. Wisdom is crucial because you have to interpret and apply that message the right way. And maybe most important of all, humility. The prophet has to remember they're the vessel, not the source. All right, now let's bring these ideas to life. We're going to look at some historical case studies to see how these concepts actually played out through some of the most famous figures in the biblical narrative. See, this gift wasn't just stuck in one era. In the Old Testament, you have these monumental figures like the prophet Isaiah, whose words still echo today. And then you jump forward to the New Testament, and you've got the Apostle Paul, whose writings are just filled with prophetic guidance for the early church. It really is an enduring presence. This quote just perfectly sums up the work of a prophet like Isaiah. His messages weren't just about predicting the future. They were a call to action. They were meant to inspire and to challenge people to live out their faith right then and there. So we've covered the what and the how, but that brings us to the most important question of all. Why? What is the ultimate purpose of this gift? Why does it even matter in the lives of believers? Well, the purpose is incredibly practical. First, it offers moral guidance. It's like a compass for navigating all of life's challenges. Second, it creates accountability, speaking truth directly about God's standards. And third, it provides inspiration, really encouraging people to move beyond just believing and to start doing. Of course, with any gift this powerful, there's always a flip side. The ability to speak for God is absolutely not without its challenges and its pitfalls. And that right there brings us to the critical turning point. What happens when this divine communication line gets crossed? What happens when the message gets twisted, either by mistake or on purpose? And here, the contrast is just so stark. The gift's real intent is selfless. It's meant to serve others and create positive change. But the pitfall is its corruption. When it's used for personal gain, for power, or to spread confusion, it becomes a dangerous weapon. This is the whole danger of a false prophet who creates division where there's supposed to be clarity. So, you see, the crucial point is this. The gift is a tool. And just like any tool, its impact, whether it builds up or tears down, depends entirely on the integrity of the person who's wielding it. And all of that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. In our modern world, which is just saturated with information and competing voices, how would we even begin to recognize a true divine message today? What would be the signs? That is a question worth pondering. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.